Hello and welcome to week 11 of my weekly reflections. And this week was the busiest week of them all, as it was tech week and production week, show week, all of it. So it was a really busy week. But I was prepared for it, as I spent last weekend kind of going over like all my trapeze, just rehearsing, going over my notes, which I've been given a lot of notes. And yeah, so I felt like I was ready for this week. I knew it would be long, but it actually wasn't as bad as I thought. Like the production, like the teching side of it, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be at all. And the shows were really good. So yes, it was a very good week. On Monday, this was an important day for me because I had to come in earlier than everyone else, and I had to rig the trapeze with a rigger came in, Howie, who I actually know from other shows, and he came in and he rigged my trapeze. And this was actually really quite difficult because the set hadn't been built yet. They were still taking the set away from the previous show, so we didn't have any kind of thing to go off. So he'd put the trapeze at a certain height, and I could get onto it from there perfectly. I climbed up the ladder, perfect height, could just do everything I needed to under the trapeze, get up perfectly. It was really good. So this was fine, and then my problem, my biggest challenge of the entire week was on Wednesday was the first time that we'd tried it. Even though we'd been in tech all of Tuesday, we didn't actually have a chance to try my scene with the trapeze, just because it was going to take a long time. We knew that, and we'd set aside time on Wednesday, so we did it. And the first problem was that I couldn't get up in the way that I had practiced because of the big pit in the set. I would kick it every time I got up, so that was very stressful because I'm really bad when it comes to like big changes, especially on the trapeze, because I've had a big break from it and I'm not as strong as I once was. So I have to kind of practice things a lot before I can feel like safe and do it smoothly. So this was stressful for me, and I think for both the directors as well, because we were like, oh, what do we do now? But luckily we kind of discussed it, and because they really wanted to have that swinging aspect in there, I would swing before I got on underneath, and then because of the awkward height, it was like too low for me to kind of swing and kick up, so I had to stand on two people. So we decided to get two members of the previous scene to come on stage with me and help me get up, basically. But I think it made the scene look really good, actually, because it was like kind of, they were like my little circus people, and they were just part of the circus scene. I think it worked really well because they were from Orpheus, so they had like their sparkly dresses on. So yeah, I think it worked. It looked very good. So yeah, that was definitely a problem, but then I got up there and it was fine and everything was good. Another problem that I encountered was my costume, because the designer had kind of really wanted me to wear a corset, and this was fine. I practiced in this corset, but something I didn't quite realise in rehearsals, and they hadn't thought of, was that when I was on the trapeze, the corset kind of came down, and obviously we don't want that to happen on stage, and I just felt a bit unsafe in the corset because I didn't want anything to fall out. So they gave me like an undershirt, like a little undershirt, and I think it actually made the corset look better. Kind of the whole outfit looked a lot more kind of put together, so I think that was really good. And then my corset was too tight a lot of the time, so I was really breathless on the trapeze. I was like out of breath and I couldn't really say my monologue properly without being like so I just kind of made a note to myself and to whoever was tying up my corset to not do it too tight. But yeah, that was fine. That was all my problems kind of sorted, and we did our dress show on Thursday, and it went really well. And then we had our show in the evening. That went well as well, except I kind of messed up on the trapeze a little bit, but it's okay. I kicked the stage, and it kind of threw me off for like the rest of my scene, but both the directors were like, no, it was great, it was fine. So that was a relief, because I thought I'd kind of ruined it. Friday was probably my best performance in my scene. Saturday night was definitely for Actian. We all did it so well. It was so good. Saturday matinee, we didn't have a sold out audience and there was a lot of gaps. So I think as like people on stage, we could all kind of, well, we could see the gaps, and it was just kind of, and they were a bit of a unresponsive audience. They didn't laugh at many of the jokes. They weren't very interactive in the interactive scene, and they didn't clap for my scene. And this was like the first time that I hadn't received a clap because it's kind of like an act, like a circus act. I had always received a clap and I was kind of stood on stage waiting for it, and I was like, what am I doing? I need to go. But yeah, I was just kind of thought I was going to get clapped and I didn't. It's fine. But yeah, it was just something that I noticed, like how an audience can really like affect your performance, because I kind of came off stage thinking like, was that bad? Was that like not good enough for a clap? I was like, no, it's just because there's not many people in there and they just, yeah. No, but it was fine. And the final show on Saturday night was really good as a whole. For my scene, I was really annoyed actually because I was quite tired. It'd been a long week. I kind of messed up my kind of getting up there, and then I couldn't do my big trick because I didn't do it correctly. But apparently it looked fine. Apparently it was very professional the way I carried on, but I was just annoyed with myself because I just really wanted the final performance, not necessarily to be my best, but just to kind of go out with a bang. And I just wanted it to be really good. And it still was good, it just wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. But it's okay. But yeah, it's been an amazing experience working on Metamorphosis. I've enjoyed every rehearsal. It's just been so much fun, and the cast are so brilliant to work with, and the directors and all the practitioners and people we've worked with, the creative team, have been amazing, and I've learned so much from this process that I will take forward with me into the industry. So thank you.